The NFL trade deadline is about 5 weeks away. And now people are probably thinking, Brett, that's a long time away. Well, we're already heading into week 5 of the NFL season. So you blink and it's already going to be here. So I figured we kind of talk about 3 candidates that the Patriots could be looking to move. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and the NFL trade deadline is November 5th. Also happens to be my birthday. So great way to celebrate, hoping that the Patriots make a trade or at least keep everybody because this team is looking up in the right direction. Good teams usually add players, and bad teams usually sell players for picks. For example, I think the Tennessee Titans could be looking for a fire sale, but the Patriots have 2 great defensive tackles. We don't need to be looking for Jeffrey Simmons. Before we get into the 3 candidates, YouTube has a new feature here, and I think it's a pretty cool feature. And it involves hype. You can hype up videos. Remember that Drake song, Hype? I hit a goofy especially. But hype this video right now. If you're on your phone, just scroll right of the comments section, click hype, and let's make this one of the top watch videos here on YouTube. Smash that hype button and show some love to the Pats and to Patriots today. Let's start with the first trade candidate that we are going to be talking about here, and I think this is a no surprise, and that's Kyle Duggar. And we have talked about Kyle Duggar throughout the offseason, training camp, preseason, and we're going to keep talking about him even today and probably on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills because there is a situation where we might see Kyle Duggar play a lot on the field. He's been okay in 25. I mean, we haven't seen him play a lot of snaps because he lost his starting spot at safety to Jalen Hawkins and Craig Woodson. I'm still baffled how they cut Jabril Peppers. I thought it was going to be Kyle Duggar, but you can see right here, the rookie Woodson and Jalen Hawkins, still a young guy. They are your 2 starters, but Kyle Duggar is that first guy to come off the bench. And we know back in the preseason, back in August, they were shopping Kyle Duggar. They were trying to figure out someone who could take him. And it was crazy to me that they couldn't find somebody, but you can see right here, 4 years, $58 million contract extension. It was going to take a lot to find somebody to trade for him. He played deep in the preseason. We saw him playing on the last snap of the game in week 2 of the preseason against the Minnesota Vikings. But when he has gotten in, I'm not going to say he's awful, but I'm also not going to say he's great. Played 74 snaps, recorded 11 tackles. When in coverage, that's where it's a bit of a problem. 5 targets and 5 receptions for a PFF grade of 59.4. It's not bad, but we might be having to rely on Mr. Kyle Duggar this Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. And this comes from Wednesday from Mike Reese. And Jalen Hawkins, with a hamstring injury, was not present at practice. Well, the first guy that's going to come in is going to be Kyle Duggar. Now, I'm pretty sure Jalen Hawkins showed up to practice on Thursday, but we saw the entire debacle, the all 2 months that it was with Christian Gonzalez, or month and a half that it was, that hamstrings are not to be played lightly about. But if we do not see Jalen Hawkins on Sunday night, Kyle Duggar will step in, and this kind of gives him a chance to show his worth. I don't think, even if Kyle Duggar plays amazing, that he's going to take back this starter spot from Jalen Hawkins. The Patriots really seem to love Jalen Hawkins. Before he got hurt on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers, he played 173 out of 174 snaps. They rely on him. They rely on Craig Woodson. Hopefully he can get his draft value up. But you saw that tweet from Ian Rappaport earlier. The big problem with trying to trade Kyle Duggar is that contract. No one wants to take on who is the middle of a 4-year, $58 million contract. Nobody wants to take that cap hit. And I think the problem that the Patriots had finding a trade partner was everybody was like, hey, can you take like 75% of that salary for the dead cap and let us keep Kyle Duggar for the rest? And the Patriots were like, no, we're not going to do that. But I think if he plays well, it could boost up his stock, and some team that's desperate enough for a safety could call up Elliott Wolf and be like, hey, we want Kyle Duggar right now. Second trade candidate that I think the Patriots could be looking to get rid of is Keion White. And Keion White has really, really disappointed me in 2025. I thought he was going to be a breakout candidate. I went back and looked at my breakout candidates, and it was 2 of them are on this video, and the other 2 are Drake May and Marcus Jones. But Keion White is one of them, only 4 tackles this season, and his role has just gone completely downhill with the Patriots. We were expecting him to be one of those main guys on the defensive line. I know you brought in Milton Williams and you get Christian Barmore back, but he was going to be on the other side of Harold Landry. But then you saw in training camp, he wasn't doing anything. And Keion White has also blossomed into one of this great player that we have seen. Keion White also didn't practice with an injury, or not even an injury. He didn't practice with an illness for about a week and a half. And it was kind of just like, what is going on here? Is this illness? Like the joke on Patriots Twitter was, is he illness? Is he sick of being back up to Keion White? Now, he's played 3 games this year out of the 4 possibilities. And you can see right here, 4 tackles, no tackles for loss, no sacks, and a PFF grade of 46.2. And then when you look at his PFF grades all throughout the last 3 weeks, this was the most snaps. You can see right here. In week 1, he had 29 snaps. Week 3, he only had 13. In week 4, it was a blowout. Plus, you saw Keion White not play in the second half. He gets 42 snaps, and he barely records any tackles, and he has a PFF grade of 38.2. So that's a big problem. He has not shown up. He has not played well, and I think the Patriots might be looking to kind of get rid of him. But also, like Kyle Duggar, he might get a chance this week. He might get a chance to play because Keion White was missing from practice on Wednesday. And here's the full injury report for you guys. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I know we're recording this after Wednesday and more injury reports have come up, but when we're recording this is the only one we have. And Milton Williams showed up on the injury report, which is not good. But Jalen Hawkins and Keion White were your 2 DNPs. So that means Kyle Duggar and Keion White step in for their role. And I also think, all right, well, there's a lot of teams that could use an edge rusher. And I saw this trade kind of rumored all throughout the offseason. I saw it in the preseason, and I saw a little bit even last week. And it was the Bears. I know they're getting Booker back off the IR, maybe this week, hopefully next week. But if the Patriots send him in there, I think you could get a 2026 fifth-round pick. I mean, his contract's not big. He also hasn't been performing well. Maybe you can get a 5th round in return. Would you make this trade? Are you doing it? Or are you keeping Keion White? Hopefully he blossoms into a better player. I know he was on the interior, and now they're moving him to the outside, trying to play that edge, and it hasn't worked out, but you're not playing him in interior. You're not playing him when you have Barmore and Milton Williams. That's just not happening. So go down in the comments section. Would you make this trade for a draft pick and Keion White? Going to get into my last trade candidate, but before we do that, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app. Yes, this is a new feature on PrizePicks. You can copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create on the new feed tab on PrizePicks. Here's the lineup I have for Sunday Night Football. I think Drake May is going to use his legs a lot. Give me the more on 25.5 rushing yards. You know who's on Keon Coleman. You know it's Gonzo. Give me the less on receiving yards. And Stephon Diggs has been red hot. He's going for 100 once again, 47.5. Give me the more on that one. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. My last guy? Yeah. It's unfortunate. I love you, Pop, but you have become a major trade candidate. And honestly, with how he's playing so far, I don't know if anybody's going to want him. Maybe somebody sees the potential that how he played last season, because he was one of the star players of this Patriots wide receiver room in 2024. I said it. He was going to be a breakout candidate. I said before Stephon Diggs was fully healthy. I mean, this was back when we didn't think he was going to be ready for the start of the year. I said he was going to have a breakout year, where Alper was wrong, because last year he was a dog. 87 targets, 66 receptions, 600 yards. He was that prototypical slot wide receiver, had 3 touchdowns. But then you move to 2025, and we're 4 games in. He's only been targeted 13 times. He has 5 receptions, and he has a touchdown. He had 7 targets. Let's make note. He had 7 targets in week 1 against the Las Vegas Raiders. 7. So since then, he's had 6 targets. He has not been good. And I won't blame him for that. But if you look at his snap counts, it's just gone down and down and down and down. Week 1 against Las Vegas, 45. Week 2 against Miami, 15. Week 3, he got a little bit more. And then against Carolina, it was 8. And there's a reason for that. The Patriots were trying to figure out what to do with Stefon Diggs. Do we put him as the X? Do we put him as the Y? Do we put him as the Z? And then finally, they just decided, you know what? We're going to put him in his natural spot and move him to slot. And since then, it has worked out for the Patriots, but it has not worked out for Pop Douglas at all. At all. At all. And I got to change that depth chart because it still says Jalen Polk, even though he's on the Saints. But you can see right here, Matt Collins is number 1. Like, he's not the wide receiver 1, but Stefon Diggs is the 1, but he's obviously clearly in the slot. Pop Douglas says roles diminished. He is now on the bench. He's come in a little bit. And he came in to make a major, major play against the Panthers, and that was on a Hunter Henry touchdown. And he's kind of just embraced this role. He knows that Stefon Diggs has taken over as that top guy in the slot. Here's what he had to say. He just helps to do something to help get the W. I feel good. I didn't even touch the ball, and I'm excited we got the W. I'm in a good state of mind. I've got my team behind my back, and they've got my back. We're getting closer together, and we're starting to play like it, and it showed today. And I like that. But I also think that the Patriots probably should trade him because you're not going to play him behind Stefon Diggs, and I think it's time. I've been saying it all week, or all season, 5 weeks now. It's time to see what Efton Chisholm has in the tank. So you can keep him on the bench, but Pop Douglas has way too much talent because I'm not going to say that last year was a fluke. It's that Stefon Diggs is here. He's taken over those spots. Trade him. Get something back because you have Efton Chisholm right here. That's probably going to be on the bench the whole time. Trade Douglas. Move him somewhere else where he can perform and actually get on the field because he's not getting on the field in New England. What could you get for him? I mean, he's a 6th-round pick himself, and he does not look good this year. But I think that if you put him in the right system, he could. Maybe you could get a 6th-round pick, maybe even a 5th-round pick. That's the max that you're probably going to get for DeMario Douglas. I still like him on the team. He's a good vibes guy. I loved him last year. I still love him. But you know that his role is completely diminished. And the Patriots, they're running a lot of just 3 wide receiver sets. You're not seeing Drake May go in the empty much. And the 3 wide receivers are Mac Hollins, Keion White, and Stefon Diggs. And then also, obviously, you have Hunter Henry there, which has been a dog. But I'll ask you guys before we get on out of here. Would you trade DeMario Douglas? Would you get rid of him, or would you keep him? Go down in the comments section. Give me a T for trade or K for keep. And while you're down there in the comments section, hype up the video. Let's get hype for Patriots-Bills Sunday Night Football. We will be live 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But scroll to the right, click hype, and make that happen. And as always, let's go Pats.